I'll say it again. Maya Angelou said, "I have learned that people will never forget how you made them feel. When women are seen, fed, and listened to, something ancient in them rises." Welcome to Women Over Dinner. I'm Maya, and I am your host for this evening. Whose very first time is it at a Women Over Dinner? Amazing. Welcome. Welcome. And then who has been to a Women Over Dinner before? Raise your hand. Amazing. Beautiful, beautiful. Welcome. Women Over Dinner is a global movement of intimate dinners that has spread to over 30 countries, 120 cities, and 3 women's prisons, all including you ladies. It is 5,400 women. Yeah. This is a night for remembering the depth of our power as women and feeling who we are and what we are capable of, especially in connection with other women. We have several speakers for you tonight, and I'm going to introduce our first one now. The first one is one of my best friends. Her name is Aubrey, and she is the director of Women Over Dinner. She has crafted and really carried this movement of dinners over the last few years, across cities, into prisons, and she really has done a tremendous work of really bringing this to the world. And so with that, I will introduce Aubrey.
Can you guys hear me okay if I do that? Okay, great. Yeah. Hi, Harlem, Women Over Dinner. I'm so happy to be here with you guys tonight. I'm Aubrey, as Maya said. I'm one of the leaders of this movement. Women Over Dinner is part of a larger women's movement called Women Are Power, or WAP for short. So I didn't memorize this whole thing, so I have to read from it. I'm trying to make eye contact at the same time. Okay, so these dinners always produce one consistent result: a room full of women remembering their beauty, their wisdom, and their power. I think I've been at least 60 of these now, and I can with confidence say it always produces that result in various forms. Women Over Dinner is one expression of a larger nonprofit called Unconditional Freedom, dedicated to the belief that dignity and freedom are not privileges, they are birthrights. This movement was created by a truly one-of-a-kind woman, my dear friend Nicole Dedone. She is dedicated in a rubber-meets-the-road kind of way to women's power. Nicole, along with another leader of this movement, Rachel, are currently incarcerated. And yes, even in 2026, the idea that women are power is still considered dangerous. Tonight, we are honored to gather in collaboration with the Ladies of Hope Ministries. Let's get some Loam love. Yes, the Loamies. So you'll be hearing from a couple of the women from Loam tonight, two extraordinary women who have walked through the fire and come back for everyone else. What Loam is doing, giving women everything they need to reintegrate after incarceration, is some of the most important work I see being done anywhere. Me and my co-runner of Women Over Dinner, Sophia, got to go to one of their events yesterday, and it was so incredibly inspiring. And actually watching Nia give a presentation inspired some of this talk today that I'm giving you guys. So I think this is some of the most important work being done anywhere. Over the past year, Women Over Dinner has had the honor of bringing these dinners inside several women's prisons. So a dinner just like this. And what we witnessed in those rooms changed us, truly. Women who hadn't been seen or received in years, softening, opening, remembering something essential about themselves. They also got to eat food that they hadn't had, delicious, amazing, healthy food that some of them hadn't had in 20, 30 years. That experience is one that has deepened our connection to the Loam, and what made this partnership with them feel not just natural but necessary. because the world these women are returning to is not always a world that was designed with them in mind, or maybe never. And the skills required to navigate it, to adapt, to translate yourself, to find your footing in systems that don't quite fit, those are skills women have been quietly developing and passing down forever. And that's what we do naturally in a world that's not particularly built for women. We adapt, and we are incredibly good at it, which is exactly why a space like this one matters. Women Over Dinner is a rare place where we get to put down that work for an evening. We get to simply be women, to fill up, to nourish, to let ourselves have as much connection and love as we want, so we can each go back out and continue what we do in the world, which in Women Over Dinner, we would call that bringing forth feminine vision. Okay, my last piece, and I get to show you guys a cool video. The woman that I spoke of, Nicole, who started Women Over Dinner and is currently incarcerated, she wrote a book she's actually written several now. She's been in for like a year, and she's already written like 3 books. She's incredible. But she wrote a book in her first several months of being in MDC Brooklyn. If you guys have heard of MDC Brooklyn, it's locally known as Hell on Earth. The book is called Jailbirds in Flight, and in the book she shares the stories of the women inside with her, revealing their essence. And this is something that we also love doing at Women Over Dinner. When you go through the questions with your table, you'll get to have that experience of seeing each other beyond whatever roles and masks that you tend to have to play in life, into the essence of each woman. And so I'm going to play a video about the book so that you can kind of start to get a sense of who we are and what we're doing in our prison work and what we're all about. And if you guys like this one, then at the very end of the night, I might throw in this other really cool video as like a bonus as well. So, Jailbirds in Flight.
I met girls with feathers tucked under their coats, trained to walk quiet, trained to swallow their notes, trained to make fine sounds, sweet and serene, while they're holding a weather turns jagged and mean. The cage is not where life concludes. Some wings learn flight in the least likely rooms. There is no place you cannot be free. From penthouse to pavement to penitentiary, we take what's given and make it ignite. That's why they call us jailbirds in flight. I met women with laughter that loosens the lock, with hands full of nothing, still feeding the flock. And when one woman rises, the whole room learns to lift. The floor turns to sky and she claims her gift. There is no place you cannot be free, from penthouse to pavement to penitentiary. We take what's given and make it ignite. That's why they call us jailbirds in flight. So listen, some doors swing inward, some lock with a click. Some rooms are a sentence, some rooms are a script. But we ride in the margins, we hum through the steel. We make a monastery out of our hunger and feel. We practice the lift, the wide open sky. We learn how to hold what the world makes us hide. And every time shame tries to call us by name, we answer with heat, we answer with flame. There is no place you cannot be free. From penthouse to pavement to penitentiary, we take what's given and make it ignite. That's why they call us jailbirds in flight.
Isn't that amazing? I've seen it so many times, and every time I'm just like so moved by that. So that's kind of the overview video of the whole Jailbirds book. But then there's 10 or 12 now videos about that are just each about one woman in the book. That is someone that served time with Nicole and Rachel in MDC, and they are incredible. So there's this one about this woman named Akina that I was thinking about showing you guys at the end of the night if you're into that. So, okay. So we were in a women's prison recently in Massachusetts doing a dinner just like this, and we showed them that video at the end, and they were like completely in love with it. So I was like, why not do that in Harlem too? Okay, so some of us are in prisons of the world, and some of us in prisons of the mind, but here we are all helping each other take flight into unconditional freedom, no matter where you are. So tonight, let yourself be here, let yourself be fed by each other's presence, each other's words, and the reminder that women are power. Whew, okay, I'm gonna introduce your next speaker. So your next speaker is Starling Thomas. Starling is a writer, director, and the communications director for the Ladies of Hope Ministries. Wrongfully convicted in 2016, I had to include this in your bio because I think the outcome of this is so cool. Wrongfully convicted in 2016, she became part of the 2% of incarcerated people who win their case on appeal. Since her release, she has dedicated herself to educating women, navigating the federal system, and fighting for the dignity of incarcerated women everywhere. Her feature documentary, Black Butterflies, explores the impact of incarceration on women and their families, and her film Harvest won Best Screenplay at the Circle City Film Festival and has screened at festivals including the San Francisco Black Film Festival. Please welcome Starling Thomas.
Thank you for that amazing bio. I don't have to introduce myself. First of all, I just want to say thank you to Women Over Dinner for creating this space and supporting the Loam in the way that you do. It means so much. This is my second or third dinner. But I've had the opportunity to be in community with all of you and Maya, and I'm just so appreciative of you guys. We know that real change does not happen in isolation. It happens around tables like this one, where people come together, share honestly, listen deeply, and invest in one another. So thank you for being here, and thank you for believing in the power of women. Before I go any further, I also want to acknowledge the Loam and the 9th anniversary. Loam, yeah, right. Loam, I can't believe 9 years. We're still little. We're still young, though. We're still a kid. We got a lot to learn. So Loam the Ladies of Hope Ministries is more than an organization. It is a movement that has transformed the lives of thousands of system-impacted women and families across this country. I am one of them. I am a success story of the Loam. I was in the inaugural cohort in 2019 for Faces of Women Imprisoned. So Dr. Sam has not only been a mentor, but a sister. She is family. We are family. I love you. I also want to shout out Trish Lewis because she is the program director of We would not have the amazing programming that we do. The program has come so far, and I just want to shout out our book here because I'm going to talk about storytelling. And, right here, it's me. This is Rewriting Her Story, and it's actually written by 6 system-impacted women, and this process was very hard, but in the end it was very healing. And so if you would like to get this book, let us know. I think we only have a couple copies on hand, but if you want to get this book, let us know. So as you heard before, I am a justice-impacted filmmaker and storyteller, and I've been impacted by the system since I was 8 when a cop beat my mother and she went to prison for it. She gave birth in prison, handcuffed and chained, and no one knew her story. But I'm changing that. One thing that I do know, thank you. One thing that I do know is stories can save lives, not because they are perfect or that they're even easy to tell, because it is very hard to tell some of these stories that we carry a lot of trauma with, but because they remind us that we are more than the labels, the circumstances, and the systems that try to define us. There was a time when my story was being told for me, a time when a federal conviction, a prison number, and a headline threatened to become my entire identity. But I discovered something powerful. When we reclaim our narrative, we reclaim our power. And that's what Pathways to Power was about. And I'm calm, so created the name. So all of the stuff that was involved with that is what my mindset was at when I was creating this event. It's about creating opportunities for women to be seen beyond their past, beyond the struggles, and beyond what society expects us to be. This weekend, we've gathered entrepreneurs, artists, advocates, mothers, students, business owners, leaders. We talked about building wealth, using technology, finding our voices, creating opportunity, and rewriting our story. But underneath all of those conversations is a deeper truth. Every woman in this room has overcome something, and every woman in this room carries the wisdom that was earned through experience, and every woman in this room has the ability to help another woman rise. I often think about the women who came before us, women who kept going when nobody was watching, who opened the doors that we weren't invited to, and who made sacrifices so that future generations could dream bigger. Because of them, we are here. And because of us, someone else will have a path forward. That is why community matters. Not networking, not sending out business cards and collecting all the information, not building out a contact list, but real community, real conversations, real support. The kind that says, I see you, you are not alone, pull up a chair, there is room for you here. Tonight, as we share this meal together, I hope we do more than exchange introductions. I hope we exchange possibility. I hope we leave here inspired by one another's courage. I hope new friendships are formed, new collaborations are sparked, and new dreams are born right here in this room. Because when women gather with intention, extraordinary things happen. So my invitation tonight is simple. Share your story, listen to someone else's, tell a woman at your table what you admire about her, and leave here remembering that your voice matters. Your experience matters, your journey matters, and because your story is not the thing that limits you, your story is the very thing that makes you powerful. Thank you. Thank you all so much. I want to introduce our next speaker, and I just have to give you a little context and insight to who she is. Marta came to the Ladies of Hope Ministries in 2021 through our Pathways for Equity program, and I had the opportunity to talk to her because I talk to a lot of the women who come through our programs to elevate their stories. That is what I love to do, is to elevate my sister's stories. And she spoke at one of our fundraising events in New York a few years back, and I saw something in her. I saw something, and I didn't know Marta's full story, but I knew when she spoke, the room listened, and there was a shift. And so I reached out to her and I said, hey, I want to do a documentary about your life. And she agreed, even though she didn't know me from Adam. And something in me as a filmmaker shifted when we did her interviews. And I was able to see how storytelling is also healing. And I saw healing in real time when we did her documentary. And Marta had never had the opportunity to share her story with anyone. And she went so deep with me. And there were times where we had to cut, and she had to process, and we had to, come together and hug and just love. It wasn't about just getting this film done. It was about still supporting my sister in that moment. And so Marta, you are amazing. She is now speaking across the country, y'all, in prisons around the country. And I'm so proud of her. Her film, From Darkness to Orbit, will be coming out later this year. Maybe we can do a screening one day with the women over there. Yeah, but come on, Marta.
I'm nervous for the first time. I know. Hi, I'm Marta. I just want to, first of all, thank you for welcoming me here and giving me a great platform, and especially thank you to Topeka, who got me here and enabled me to come here this weekend and really have this experience. I was 9 years old, a little girl who had dreams. I start off with this because I just want you to understand where I was and how far I've come. I had dreams of getting married, having 7 kids, and those dreams were crushed. Everything turned dark, and there was no more light for me. And from that point on, it was darkness, 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 pain, pain, pain. I was sexually abused by my family members, and then soon thereafter, sex trafficked. And I tried to hold on the best I could. I feel like I was living a double life. I didn't really know what power was, what healing was. All I knew is I felt so much pain. I felt lost. I knew that for me, there was a God that existed. I searched for him wherever I could and tried to find a way to overcome this pain. I washed and took showers, tried to scrub it off of me more times than I can express. I didn't wear dresses, and when I did, it was only trying to be accepted. And the minute I wore it, I had to run and take it off and scrub some more. Today, I'm wearing a dress. For the first time in a long time, I don't feel dirty, I feel free. I never thought that I was going to arrive there until I was formerly incarcerated. I went through prison. Tried so much to reach out for help wherever I could. And then try to go to school. I felt like I was just existing, just navigating through this world. Tried to see if someone in the world would ever see me. If someone would ever see me as a human being, would hear me, would take time to love me. I don't think I ever really knew what love was. I was almost at the point of giving up. Even though I was navigating through school and I just got out of prison, I was trying to be successful. I've always wanted to be an aerospace engineer. I love the flight. And the reason I loved it, because when I was 9 years old, I'd run outside. This UPS plane would fly overhead, and I was going through so much pain after what they've done to me. I wanted just to run away. So I imagined me going all these places on an airplane. That's where the love of airplanes came. And then I met Dr. Topeka Sam through a program of Pathways to Equity in Arlene and Sterling. And they made everything shift for me. All of a sudden, things became possible. I got a job working as a propulsion technician. I flew to New York, and I got to speak with Topeka Sam. I met Sterling, and for the first time in my life, I felt like I started to regain some power. I started to believe in myself. All of a sudden, things weren't so dark, but little glimpses of light started to come in. And when Sterling asked me to share my story, I was first taken aback. Like she said, I didn't know her, but for some reason I trusted her. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do. There was moments I couldn't stop crying. We had to take a break. But it was the most powerful, most freeing thing I ever did. And from that moment on, I began to take little steps in believing in myself. Started looking in the mirror a little bit, raising up my head and seeing me. And I didn't think I'd ever get to that point. And next thing you know, I had this amazing job. I got to put rockets in space, which I loved more than anything in the world. Because God is good. I just kept working at it, going to therapy, and kept believing in myself. And there was times that I was still lost, still dark, but I would always reach out to Sterling. And she always tell me just to believe in myself, and then God has a plan. I believe that God has a plan. When I was in prison, I sang this song. I sing this song. I've fallen in the darkest abyss, and I saw no light, no light. a child, address her innocence. A child was she. I never thought I'd be able to see that light until Topeka and Sterling saw me. They've changed my life. They've given me hope. And I'm glad that I was able to finally put on a dress and reclaim my power with them present. Because Topeka's humble. And let me tell you something. She doesn't think that she's the most amazing woman I've ever met. She has created a platform and given us hope in ways that I never thought existed. And with Trish and Sterling, I am now on a way to having a movie, From Darkness to Orbit, come out. People keep asking me. I speak all prisons across the United States. I speak in front of sex traffickers, sexual abusers, and child molesters because I want everybody to know that there's mercy and grace and forgiveness possible. And that when it comes to dying on the cross, we should all die on the cross for one another. We need to have power and believe in one another, and we can't do that if we're not living it. We can't do that if we're not walking in the light, if we're not walking in truth, and we're not walking in power. I would have never been able to walk in power and be where I'm at without Dr. Topeka Sam and Sterling Thomas. I love you guys so much. Thank you for today.
Wow, amazing. Thank you, women, so much. Okay, so here at Women Over Dinner, our aim is to remember that women are the jewel that everyone is seeking for. Women are the jewel everyone is seeking for. So I will quickly walk us through the structure of the evening, and then we will dive in. Women Over Dinner has 3 parts: a round of noticing, a series of questions, and a final round of reflections. Throughout the dinner, we have 4 agreements. One is no crosstalk. Tonight is unique in that it's not exactly a discussion. After someone shares, we simply say thank you. So no need to change someone's experience. We are simply listening to what they want to share. Number 2 is we just bottom line it. We want to allow everyone to have their voice into the room to be able to get around to everyone's story. So keep your shares concise. Vulnerability and specificity hold the most power. And number 3, enjoy it all. Remember, there are no wrong answers. We're simply here to share, connect, and have fun. All right, so let's begin. Starting with the woman who is leading your table. Table leads, raise your hand. Every table has a table lead, yeah. So starting with the woman who is leading your table, we will go around in a circle giving a noticing to the person to your left. This is a simple observation of the woman you are sitting beside. It could be anything. So something that's like, the first thing I noticed about you was how welcoming you felt. As women, we often feel invisible, and this is a way that we can see each other. And so you'll go one by one, and each woman will give a noticing to the person to her left, and then she'll go to the person to her left, and we'll go all around the table. The person being noticed just says, "Thank you." Exactly, yeah. So the person being noticed just says thank you. Receiving attention can sometimes be uncomfortable, but don't worry, all you have to do is say thank you, and when they're done, when they're done, I will give an example. Starling. When you walked in, I just felt kind of like the depth of your heart. Just that you were like quiet, but I could just feel the depth of your heart pouring into the whole room just from walking in. Okay, so we will start. The table lead will start as the example. So table lead start, and then I will, once everyone's done, I'll wrap you into the next section. Begin.
For online friends, you can post your noticings in the chat. So something you notice about another person on the call, you can go ahead and post that noticing in the chat, and we can all participate in this round in that way. And then when the next section is going to be questions, and we'll go into breakout rooms for the question section. So if you don't want to be in a breakout room, just let us know. You can post that in the chat as well. If you're on listen only, no problem. Otherwise, we'll make sure you get into a breakout room so that you can participate fully in the dining experience. And we're so glad you're here, and feel free to eat and drink and just really enjoy yourself while you're with us tonight. And if you're live streaming in on social media, feel free to post a noticing in the chat. We'd love to hear something that you are noticing in your experience so far of the dinner of one of the speakers, or anything at all. We'd love for you to engage and be engaged, and I'd love to hear from you.
All right, ladies, wonderful, wonderful. We're warming up. If I could have your attention, please. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so next, your table lead will guide you through tonight's main questions. These questions are designed to be thought-provoking and intimate. We will go around the table, one question per round, and you guys will answer as many as you can within the 30 minutes. No rush, just however you get to wonderfully. And remember that we say, what, after each share? Exactly. Okay, great. So again, the table lead will start with the questions, and you will go around and share your answers, starting now.
So for everyone joining us online, we're going to go into breakout rooms. So that's really exciting. Turn on your camera if you can. If not, you don't have to have your camera on. You can still participate. And you're going to have a table lead in your room that's going to ask the questions, and we'll all get to participate. So that'll go for about 30 minutes. Then we'll bring you back into the main room, and we will get to do reflections and the rest of the dinner all together. So have an amazing time in your breakout rooms, and see you when you get back. Enjoy. If you don't want to be in a breakout room, no problem. Just let us know. If you do, please make sure you hit join breakout room when you get the option. And then for anyone who's joining us on social media, we are going to post the questions for you so that you can also participate in your own way. Even though you won't be in a breakout room, you'll be able to see the questions that the women at the dinner are currently answering together. Question number 1 for our live streamers is, when in your life have you felt most unmistakably free, even for a moment? When in your life have you felt most unmistakably free, even for a moment? Please share your answers in the chat, in the comments. We would love to see them. We would love to respond. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Welcome if you're live streaming into Women Over Dinner tonight. We are currently, the women in the room are answering questions at their tables of about 8 to 10 women per table. They're eating jambalaya tonight. That was made by a local chef in Harlem. And they are answering the first question, which is, when in your life have you felt most unmistakably free, even for a moment? And then the other women at the table just say thank you, and they move to the next woman. So there's no crosstalk, no feedback, just answering the question in the way that they is the most honest and vulnerable for them. So please feel free to post your answers in the comments. We'd love to read them. If you're live streaming into the dinner, welcome. And right now we're on the question answering portion of the dinner where all the women in the room in Harlem are answering each of these potent questions at their own table with each other. And you are welcome to participate by answering the questions yourself. You can post your answers in the comments if you'd like. Question number 2 is, what's a second chance you've been given or you've given yourself, and what did it change? If you're on our live stream, welcome. so glad that you're here at Women Over Dinner. And right now, all the women at the tables are answering the questions. There's about 8 to 10 women per table. They're eating a delicious chef-prepared meal. And they're on probably around question number 2 now. So question number 2 is, what's a second chance you've been given or you've given yourself? And what did it change? So feel free to answer the question in the comment. We would love to hear your answers. For our live streamers on Women Over Dinner tonight, we are moving on to our third question, which is, What's something you've lived through that now gives you strength you can offer to others? Maybe you went through a very challenging experience in your life, something that maybe you've never told anyone, or maybe something that you don't talk about very often, and maybe it's something that actually has you be stronger now because you went through it, and it has you be able to be there for other people. So you can consider something like that. And if you'd like to answer the question in the comments, we would love to read it. We would love to know that you are participating with us. For our live streamers, question number 4 is, what are you ready for, even if it scares you? Maybe something that you are excited about in your life that you're also scared about, or something that you were really hoping that'll happen, but also feel like might be very challenging for you to experience, even if it could also be really wonderful. Feel free to post your answers in the comments. For our live streamers, question number 5 is, what would you do if you had the full support of women backing you? What would you do in your life? What would be different if you had that support from women? Post your answers in the comments.
Five more minutes of the questions. 5 more minutes of the questions. All right, welcome back, ladies. Hello. All right, so that is all the time for questions on this evening, but we have one more part of the experience. So next up, you're going to give a reflection to the woman to the right of you this time. So a reflection is a specific moment from the dinner that you remember of the woman. You describe that moment and how it made you feel. An example could be there was a moment when your posture changed as you stood up, talked about standing up for yourself, and I felt my own strength surface. So some specific moment from the dinner that you really saw something in that woman and you reflect it back to her. Once you've received a reflection, you say, "Thank you." Beautiful. Amazing. One more thing, you'll notice a red thread on the table in front of you. As you give your reflection, you tie the thread to her wrist as a reminder of how we are all connected. Amazing. So your table lead will start and you will go to the woman to your right.
So for our ladies who are joining us on Zoom, you can post your reflections in the chat. And for our live streamers, you can post reflections in the comments. Reflection of the speakers earlier, of something you experienced, answering the questions. It could really be anything, but we would love just to hear what you have to say, what your experience has been tonight joining us. Can't wait to read them.
seconds.
Okay, maybe 45 seconds.
All right, ladies, welcome back, welcome back. The room feels so amazing and warm. I would love to get some reflections from the room. So amazing, yeah, just raise your hand over there, Lauren, over there.
So I just want to give two semi-quick thank yous. The first thank you is actually to Topeka and the Ladies of Hope Ministry. I've been a women over dinner girly since my incarceration with Nicole and Rachel, but I had the absolute honor, joy, everything experience of working or being around the Ladies of Hope Ministry yesterday, seeing what they do, feeling what they do. Unbelievable, breathtaking for people who have been in my shoes with dealing with incarceration, to feel like there is nobody who gives a rat's butt about you, and then meet somebody like Topeka will fill you up in a way you didn't know you had the capacity to be filled. So I want to thank her and the organization from the bottom of my heart and the bottom of the hearts of all of the other incarcerated women who they clearly are helping. So the second woman I want to thank is the chef, because this food is absolutely incredible. But what was better than the food was listening to her speak. And for a brief moment in time, I had the delight of hearing her share with us about how she does the work in silence and how she's been working in silence. I'm getting goosebumps right now because I feel like so many of us, we all just hold so much every single day in silence. But I just want to thank Women Over Dinner because we don't have to be silent here. So thanks and thank you.
Beautiful. Anyone else? And let's get just a few different reflections here, over here in the front.
Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. My name is Dana, and this is my 6th Women Over Dinner. I feel like I have to stand up every time and say it because it's just so important to me. But I just want to thank everybody for being here tonight and to the ladies who lead this place for continuing to do so. The food was amazing. This was an amazing table of women, and I just wanted to acknowledge them. It was a pleasure and an honor to speak to you ladies tonight. And thank you, Topeka, for all that you do and all the beautiful ladies that you brought here. And thank you.
Hi, I'm part of the Ladies of Hope Ministry also, from a whole different concept. It was due to my son's incarceration, but the sisterhood, and I get emotional, that this organization has given me, and I'm in New York, they're all over, is amazing. I love all of them, and the work that they do is something that's to be admirable. Tamika, Starling, Trish, and all the other ladies, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah. Beautiful. Let's get a few more. Who else wants to share? Any reflection from the evening? Yeah, over there.
Hi, everyone. I'm Asia, Chef Asia, the one that made the food. I feel like I found a safe space being here. This is my 2nd time. Came last month, and I felt like there was, even though I was upstairs, but the warmth at this table and just hearing their stories. I just want to say rejection is redirection, and walking your purpose, and don't apologize about it. And this is such a beautiful space that all of you guys have created, and I hope you continue to do it and spread it. So that's what I wanted to say.
Beautiful. All right. And so with that, I am now going to bring up Sophia, who is another amazing, incredible woman who helps run this whole ship of Women Over Dinner all around the country. And yeah, come on up. Sophia, give it up.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. That was incredible, beautiful. It's amazing to have all of the Loam ladies here because they feel in our family. They feel like in our family. So one of the things that I love most about Women Over Dinner is that everything that we do is made possible by women who encounter this work, feel inspired, and offer to it. So she sort of started this, but I would love to start by acknowledging Chef Asia B, if she could stand up again. That's right. So Chef Asia found us on Instagram, came to our last Women Over Dinner, totally last minute. She called me the night before. We had a little thing because her last name, hopefully she is allowing me to say, is Bullock. And everyone always tells me I look like Sandra Bullock. And so we're like basically sisters. And so we bonded over that. And the love, the care, the creativity that you experienced in the food is all from her heart. So I just want to say thank you so much for nourishing us tonight, for bringing your art to this table. You can find her business on Instagram. You can go up to her. She's in this beautiful, colorful, you can see her. Ask her about what she does and use her. Thank you, Chef Asia. And then I'd also like to say thank you to Jenny. Can Jenny stand up? From Heavenly Bites by Jenny. She made our cupcakes today. They're so beautiful and delicious. Thank you. You can find her on Instagram as well. Heavenly Bites by Jenny. She also was inspired by what she saw, our mission, and she reached out to contribute. So thank you both so much. That is how this movement grows. I'd also like to say thank you to all of our volunteers. Yes. All of our volunteers are women who came at one point and attended a dinner, had a profound experience, and wanted other women to have the same experience. So thank you all for taking care of us so attentively this evening. And then, one of the things that has been most powerful to me about this movement is hosting Women Over Dinner in prisons. This is what links us to the Ladies of Hope Ministry. These women have been discarded by society and are especially hungry for it. It has been incredibly profound to be able to bring something that actually is effective, that has a deep and lasting positive impact. And truly, we have only just begun our efforts. So I wanted to show you guys a video. Oh, thank you so much. This is how women work, you know, we're like constantly feeling what's right. And so as Aubrey mentioned at the beginning, we're gonna show you a video of a woman who is currently incarcerated with Nicole and Rachel, our founders, and it is an amazing showcase of this woman's spirit. Just to give a little context, because it actually ties to Marta's story and was so inspiring to us. So this woman was actually incarcerated because on multiple occasions she broke into airplane runways and wanted to take off into flight like an airplane. And she has been incarcerated with Nicole and Rachel. She is often seen running in the middle of the night on her bunk trying to take off into flight, and all of the women, or she's often also yelling, and all of the women don't quite know what to do with her. And Nicole has done this incredible thing of showing the women that she's actually in response to the energy in the room, that she's not crazy, she's actually feeling something. And so we took that story that you can actually read about in the book, Jailbirds in Flight, and Maya, who's your host, turned it into a piece of art. So we'd like to share that art with you tonight.
Fly. Fly. Yeah. She came in like a turning storm, hair sprung wild like a crown. Eyes too bright to hold a form, a body that wouldn't sit down. Something in her never landed, something in her always knew. The runway that she wanted was the sky inside her too. That sky dancer, never come down. Your feet are the only ones free in this town. Your sound is what we swallow, what we ate. Fly, sister, fly the dorm away. At 3 a.m. she runs the bed, knees high, arms in the air, chasing lift inside her head, like the sky was waiting there. Some call her chaos, some see a cadence, her body like a bird flowing, flight already in her knowing. Dakina, sky dancer, never come down. Your feet are the only ones free in this town. Your sound is what we swallow, what we ate. Fly, sister, fly the dorm away. Fly. Fly.
All right, so this is the work that Women Over Dinner is doing. So seeing the art, the creativity, the beauty, the truth, the realness of women beneath the surface into who we really are, our essence. So each time that we have done one of these prison dinners, you can imagine this exact experience inside a prison with women, as Aubrey mentioned, with real food that they don't often get. The women have a deep experience of remembering their humanity and dignity. The administrators rave about the lasting impact on the women in the months after and ask us back again. So we've actually been inside of our Massachusetts prison 2 times. And when yes, thank you. Somebody's applauding. You can applaud. When we went back the second time, it was 5 months later, and the women could not believe that we came the first time. They could not believe that we came a second time. They said, we didn't know that somebody cared about us this much. And when we showed this video, Maya actually said to them that we were going to make a video like this one for them. And it's the first time that they felt important and seen. So truly, truly impactful. And in the world of prisons, people often say, not many things really make a deep difference. But we're so thrilled that these dinners do, and we want them in every women's prison who will have us. So each dinner costs anywhere from $8,000 to $12,000, depending on the location and all the preparation that comes with it. So these dinners are paid for fully by donations, and anything that you can give tonight goes a very long way. There is a QR code that you'll find on your table. Maybe somebody can hold your QR table up so nobody can miss it. If you don't know how to use a QR code, just ask your table lead. They know how. And if you donate $100 or more right now, you will get a copy of Nicole's book, Jailbirds in Flight. You saw the video for it, and then the woman Dakina is actually featured in it as well. And you could even sponsor an entire dinner if you would like. We would really appreciate it. Help us bring this amazing experience to the lives of women who are incarcerated. So I think actually, Aubrey, do you have some books? If anyone would like to donate $100 or more, you can just raise your cute little iPhones up and show Aubrey, and she'll bring you a Jailbirds book tonight. Anybody? 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 Oh, Topeka. Oh, yes. Girl, you know how this works. You know how this works. She was 2 in flight. That's right. She's gonna share her book. Yeah, for Nia. All right, so let's keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Anybody else getting a book tonight? Oh, we got a hand over here. That's right. We love it. We love to see it. So our fundraising goal tonight is $5,000, but I would love to blow that out of the water. And just know that every single dollar goes directly towards impacting women in prison. Oh, I think that actually we are going to show, this was my hope and my dream. We're actually going to show a video about our first dinner that we ever did in Taconic Prison.
Why do we cast people out? I think we lost the storyline. We've been sold just this terrible bill of goods, this idea that we have to be happy all the time. We start rejecting parts of ourselves. We begin to think happiness can only be had if we reject more and more, and then we all end up isolated. The most important thing we can do as human beings is begin to connect again with ourselves, with the earth, and with each other. You go into a monastery, and a monastery is a blessed experience. It's an opportunity to get to look inside and discover who you are and how you operate. And really, if you look at prisons, they have the same basic structure, just a different intention. So what if we shifted that intention?
Let me tell you this. This is history. This is history. No, it really is. So we did 100 dinners around the world, and today there's 100 women around the world, everywhere from, the first one this morning was in Ireland, Nigeria, Ghana. Everyone is doing it today to stand in solidarity with this dinner here.
I'm in charge of all the programs for the incarcerated individuals, and we like to have events here. It's important to me as a female to encourage other females and have them see their strength and to empower them. So events like this really mean a lot to me, and I'm so ecstatic that this is the first correctional facility to do an event like this. Part of history.
One of the things that makes this Women's Over Dinner event so meaningful is because, for one, it's being held in a place where voices are not heard, bodies are not seen. It's very emotional for me. We've never had anything like this when I was incarcerated. We didn't have a setting where we can sit down and eat together.
This event just means so much to me because, first and foremost, I just know, being a justice impacted woman, that the women are often forgotten, and during this time of year, it's one of the worst time of year because the holiday season is, the New Year is coming up. So I just thought it was a wonderful opportunity to bring this to my sisters that I left behind the wall to come and participate in something like this.
When I first walked in, I was like, oh my God, I feel like we're home.
This is amazing. This is like something I would never dream of happening in a place like this, and I'm thankful that I'm here today. To walk in here today, to know that we're gonna be having this conversation, but to know that the womanhood community embraced us. This is beautiful.
We, as free people, understood that we're not free unless all of our sisters are free.
There are many kinds of freedom, small and large, but there exists within each of us a freedom, a wealth that's untouchable, incorruptible, beyond money or status, control, or even one's body. There remains within each of us a territory that cannot be colonized by any external force if we are fierce and vigilant guardians of what we know to be true.
I felt really classy, I liked the whole table setup. I felt important, like somebody really cared about me,
This was needed and is needed in an environment like this. Thank you so much.
There is a way in this lifetime to see the change that we all know is possible. To take all of the fear and the anger and the polarization and the separation, to take all of that and turn it into a place where we are who we know we should be. Where each of us has our dignity restored, our humanity restored, and we're part of the group of people who are restoring it for others. There's an expression. Unconditional freedom is freedom in all conditions. If I had one wish, this would be my wish for everyone. It would be that each person know for themselves the experience of unconditional freedom.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. Give it up. All right. So to finish us off, I think just want to make sure, did everyone who gave over 100 get a book? No, we need a Latoya. Latoya needs a book. And then Olympia Hoffman, thank you for your donation. Also, I hear it is your birthday, so happy birthday to you. Let's give it up for Olympia. Woo-hoo. Marlene, did you get yours? Thank you. Oh, hi, Marlene. It's good to see you. Caroline, thank you so much. Tasha, did you get yours? Okay, amazing. Okay, I think that's everyone. And then I saw other donations. Thank you so much again. Every single dollar counts. And makes what we do possible. I just lastly want to say thank you to the Ladies of Hope Ministry. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work that you all are doing. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for partnering. I love you all so much. And then a couple more things. So it says brown envelope, but tonight it is pink. This is specifically for the Ladies of Hope Ministry. The pink envelope you were given when you arrived contains all the info that you need to host your own dinner with friends, sisters, mothers, coworkers. Please bring this to women who weren't able to be here tonight so we can all remember our power together. You can do that with just a few women out at a restaurant. You can read through the script, read through the questions. If you want to know more about what we do in this space, because we do so much in this space, you can go to the Next Steps table in the back where Maya is waving her arms. You can sign up, you'll learn more about it. Please come back to a dinner. Please bring a friend. Thank you so much for coming, and that is a Women Over Dinner. We'll mingle for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll see you next time.
All right, that is our Women Over Dinner Harlem for tonight. And thank you, ladies, for joining us. It just felt really good to have you here on the call. And I missed our breakout room, but Rach Regan had you, and I know that she is an incredible table lead. So what a treat for you guys to have her. And Aggie and Nancy and Amber and Dana. I love you all so much. So we will see you at the next Women Over Dinner. I know we'll see you before that, but the next one is July 19th in Harlem that will be live streaming. And the next one in LA is July 25th. And love you very much. Thanks for coming on. Spread the turn on and the electricity and keep the network growing.